Hi, it's me, Tatatron, and today is another edition of Japan Tech. Why am I on the floor? I don't know. Let me get up.
Okay, I'm focusing today on the Japanese kerosene heater, and this particular one is electrically driven, which means almost all of the energy that's being used by this heater is from burning kerosene or some form of it. I'm not sure the exact chemical makeup of the heating fuel that's used here, but it's very similar to kerosene, if not kerosene itself. Now, with that said, these heaters, despite the stereotypes back home, they're very safe. Just as anything in Japan, people expect you to use things with common sense, and usually you'll be fine. So if you think about it, these are very efficient, and for the money you can heat an entire small apartment with the right size unit. This particular unit has two modes. It has a full apartment mode, and then it has a single room mode. And somehow the circuitry and the way that it puts out BTUs or thermal units, however you count them, it is more efficient depending on which selection you use. So if I'm putting it in a small room, then it's going to be in small room mode if I hit the right button, and it won't short cycle and heat up the room really fast and then turn itself off and then turn itself back on again. Okay? So also I'd like to point out that please use common sense. Please give yourself some space in front of the heater and a little bit of space behind the heater so it can take air in and heat it properly. Make sure you use the right fuel, all you gaijins. Like me, I'm a gaijin. I don't speak much Japanese yet, so make sure that when you go to the gas station, you ask for the heating fuel. This is the tank that you put the heating fuel in. It has a safety valve on the bottom that only opens when it's in the unit, and it holds approximately 2 liters. This unit is also very safe. Some of them, if you knock them over or they overheat, they usually will turn themselves off and give you an alarm or just stop working as a safety feature instead of causing a fire. You have a lot of controls up here where you can set a timer. You can set it to turn on at a specific time in the morning. You can hit a quick start button that'll give you like an hour to 20 minutes or so, and then it will turn off, and then you have to come over and hit the button again. It also tells you when you're out of fuel. This little guy here blinks and glows red. When everything's all fine and happy, it's green. And here's your timer and clock and everything. Your lockout feature so kids can't mess with it. It's a great little unit and essential for staying warm in the winter here. I'd like to point out that most apartments in Japan do not have central heating, so you're going to need one of these forms of heat most likely, or if you're okay with hanging out in a sweater and a sweatshirt and a jacket and all that stuff, that's fine too, but I think eventually it's going to get cold enough to where you're going to have to buy one of these. This unit here is one of the better units, and I've been using it at night because it's been getting a little chilly at night, and I haven't really had any problems with it. One thing I'd like to point out is that when you're using this, you want a little ventilation. They do outgas a little bit at initial startup, which means there's some fume smell just when they start up, and then once they're running, there really isn't much of an odor or any kind of noxious fumes at all. But this is what they use, and this is really the best one to have, I think, is the electric kerosene heater. So just be smart about it. Make sure you use the right fuel. That's the main problem here, is people putting the wrong fuel in and causing a fire because the unit was not designed to burn that type of fuel. The fuel is available at hardware stores and gas stations. Mostly gas stations from where I live. You go to the gas station with your fuel can and you ask them to give you some heating fuel for your heater. Okay, as I showed you earlier, you pull this unit out and you flip it upside down and you open the tank. This is how we fill the tank in Japan. I have my canister. This is the canister that you bring to the gas station, not this. And I'm outside. I'm not doing this in the house. So you can get all of these things at the hardware store. This is my little pump. And I pump. Now I'll save you the boring screw this in here to keep the air from escaping. There we go. Now we're starting to pump. This is what you do. Do it outside. Now I'm going to drain this carefully now that I'm done filling. I have a little rag over here that I can clean up with and set this down so it doesn't drip everywhere. And that's it. Sealed. Ready to go.